Morning, everybody. Oh, it's Saturday morning. Feeling good. Karma's like, I guess we're doing this all the time now, right? They will come back one day, baby. Okay, go lay down. All right, everybody, welcome. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga. And that's my co-pilot, Karma. Um, and we are here for our morning yoga basics live. So I want to just check in first and see if anybody's here and if they want a shout out, because that would be a nice thing to do. Kind of almost doesn't feel like Saturday morning without like having some of that nice banter, that nice those fun greetings, that reconnecting with one another in that familiar way, right? That's at least what it feels like for me sometimes. So for me right now, as I go to my screen, I feel like I'm going, "Hey, how is everybody?" Okay, so let me see if anybody wants to give a shout. Good to see you all. And we're going to get moving in a moment, but let's see who's here. Go ahead and say hey if you want to. Nobody is typing in anything. All right, not seeing anybody. I might come back up here in a minute and check it out, but otherwise, I got these old lady eyes. I can't see really far away. All right, I got Claudia. Woohoo! So I say, what's up? And I really should have done that as Just Be Yoga, but expediency makes me kind of sacrifice a bit of efficiency. Expediency helps us sacrifice efficiency. Maybe that's something to think about as we move today. Hey, Julie, good to see you. Tracy, now we got some shout outs. Everybody's awake now. Hopefully you've gotten your coffee done, didn't eat a great big breakfast. We're ready for our morning movement. What's up, Kendra? I got Tina. What? We just got like a whole big party up in here. Okay, so based on the eyeballs on here, y'all know that the room would be packed, right? Everybody would be rolling in with their mat going, how am I going to put my mat down? So that's kind of cool. So make room, say hey to each other. And we're welcome to our basics yoga flow. I'm ready to get moving. Hey, Bess, good to see you. All right, and so it also lets me kind of see who all is here, at least for the bodies and the people I'm familiar with, to kind of think about what we might want to do. You have a few more moments to type in there any sort of request, and I will try my very best, but you know that you are on your mat, in your body. You work it out as far as what feels good for you, holding things as long as or as little as you need. Remember that we're connecting our mind and our spirit with this body, and we're collaborating. We're not here to demand or command our body, okay? You dom your body in other ways. All right. Okay, I'm not seeing any requests, so I'm gone. Okay, so why don't we start today standing? At least my co-pilot is not on my mat. So that's a good thing. Sometimes I turn around and I'm like, I guess Karma's teaching today. So good to see everybody. Let's go ahead and get started this morning up on our mat. I'm going to take my highly melanated off because I'm hot. And let's make our way up to the top of the mat and work out our feet. Good. Maybe just pedal them up and down. Let me double check something here. Okay. Good. And why don't we just start with testing in on each side of our body and how it wants to hold us. So I'm just going to spin onto my left foot and feel my right and feel this hip opening up a bit. Standing tall this morning, feeling my hip. If you're feeling stable, you can kind of give the hips a little shake. That might be a little fancy first thing out, but my hips are feeling, what I did yesterday, I did a whole bunch. And I'm going to bring that down, feel that out a little, spin that, stand in it, kind of check in on how wearing this week has been on my body, the toll that it has taken, and what my body is still trying to hold from this week. I kind of see, I still got a little bit of go with the flow here. In these hips. And then I'm going to rest my feet. Choose how wide apart you want those feet, okay? They can be super wide. They can be closer together. Feel out the size of your thighs. Sometimes people feel as though they have to clamp their legs together. That's the hazard of looking at another body on a screen or even in a room to kind of say, this is what I'm supposed to. No, start to feel out. What does standing up in a nice balanced way feel like? Am I locking my knees? Am I pressing too much in certain sections of my feet? Am I in one leg more than the other? Where am I in this pelvic bowl? Am I shoving the butt back or forward a little too much? Rock it a few times and feel out that balance space where we're not too far back, not too far forward. Growing tall, but without curving the low back, rest the shoulders. Lifting your own head off your neck. Face is soft. And I'm ready to ground into my breath. So instead of sweeping the arms out, I'm just going to work on reaching the arms out in front of me. And then see about settling my biceps in line with my ears. Now, for some of us, that may look like this. Your elbows may be bent a little bit. Maybe it's up. Good. I'm going to scoop the tailbone under and back a few times just to check in. I'm going to back it up, make sure I don't step on my friend. Hoping that you guys can see my fingertips, but it really doesn't matter. I'm going to bring this arm down, finding a gentle side bend. Now, I'm going to try not to move all the way from the shoulder. I want to see if I can do the movement from that hip. Filling up my belly with breath. I can be looking down or up with the neck. Breathing and lifting myself up. Letting this arm rest, giving myself some support here. Moving from this hip up and over. Side bend. So if you look at the home yoga practice yesterday, I talked about what is balance in our practice. I think people thought that we were going to talk about balancing on one leg. But I talked about balance in our practice. And let's gradually bring ourselves up. Trying to look at making sure that we have done poses and counter poses to create a balanced relationship in the types of movements we do in our body. So here we did side bending on both sides. I'm going to bend my knees now and let my upper body come over my bottom body. That's another bending. Folding. Sorry. This is our first time here, so I'm really going to keep my knees soft. Let my upper body hang. See how much you can just let the low belly kind of drape over the thighs. Now, I'm going to let my hands rest on the floor here, but some of you might need a block or a chair. And let yourself rock forward and back. So just notice how I brought my weight bearing a little bit more forward, and then I'm going to let my spine hang and feel the difference. I definitely feel more of a load in my upper back here. I'm going to come back and hinge forward. Now I'm going to do this a few times and let my attention come into my breath. How am I wearing my breath right now? Embrace that as a concept. And bring my attention into my mind. Because when I shift forward, I end up going into that whoa, that little bit of fear space. I'm gonna let my arms go and round my spine up to standing. I'm gonna rotate my shoulders one at a time, kind of a bit of a swimming movement, bringing up a little bit of that sensual go with the flow. Breath. Just keeping it simple, exploring my shoulders, change direction. How expressive can I get in those arms? And I really do hope that some of you are practicing this and doing this at home with some family members. Have some fun and just feel how something is feeling in our bodies. Not, ooh, I'm doing this better than you. Just, yeah, this feels good, or try out a different way of moving it. Get sassy. Give each other permission to move however we want to move. All right, so I'm going to check in side to side again here. I'm going to root into my right leg and ask my left leg to lift. Now, the best part is just to have that foot come off the earth and then, oh, there it is. There's the earth. So you can just lift an inch. If your body is feeling pretty stable and you want to lift it a little bit more, go ahead. Try not to bring your chest to the knee, though. Try to ask the thigh to come up to you. And then just feel what's going on in that right foot. Is all your weight back in the heel? Play with it. Even if you make a subtle adjustment and you lose it, just bring yourself back, maybe lose it with some grace, and then reestablish and feel. That's the learning, that's the growing. You didn't fail, right? You didn't fall even, right? You came out and you came back in. I like that. All right, so I'm going to root in here. Now, what I noticed there was that my calf muscle in that leg was really doing a lot of gripping. I'm going to shake that out, shake my feet out. My feet are super gripping in the earth today, so I don't know. I don't have a lot of trust. I don't know whether my feet are just tired from this week. I'm going to root into this leg, hold myself accountable for sitting up tall. Good. I'm going to root into this leg and maybe lift it an inch. Carrying a nice calm breath. Now I noticed here on this leg, on my standing leg, I rolled a little bit into the arch of that foot. And that put a lot of pressure on the inside of my groin, as well as the inside of that knee, and I don't want that. So that really woke me up to see if I could bring my energy over to the left side of that foot a little bit more. Standing up through this hip, maybe lifting this knee a little bit higher. And just experiencing standing on the earth in my breath with a calm mind. Now I'm going to release my foot down and shake that out a little bit. This calf muscle, it wasn't gripping nearly as much as the other side was. All right, I'm going to tie that all together now. Just kind of bring a few elements together. So I'm going to breathe in, lengthen. Oops, sorry, let's take it out in front of us. Breathe in and just feel that difference of how it rotates in the shoulder. Exhale, side bend. And bring it up. Bringing this arm back up and over. Breath. And bring it back up. Lift. And take it forward. Knees could be soft, or maybe now this time you want to start to straighten them a bit. Maybe you alternate one leg and the other. Yeah, that's the way I need to ease into this. I'm just going to pedal it a little bit. Come onto your toes. Check in on what you're willing to let go of. What's willing in your body to let go. Good. And I'm going to roll my spine back up, finding my mountain once again. And I'm going to root into my right leg, asking that left leg to lift. Now, if you're feeling like, hey, I think I'm feeling really stable or secure here, maybe see if you can give it a hug. That might be asking too much. And so you can back it back off. And bring that down. Some of us need to shake that out still. So all we're doing here is checking in on stability, checking in on our support structure, feeling the strength of our legs and our core, root, and left. Maybe lifting it up and giving it a hug. And bringing that down. Good, let's breathe in and lengthen up. Now I'm going to push my legs down deliberately. I'm going to try to pull my tummy in. Not as though you're sucking it up, okay? So you're just bracing for a little pat on the tummy so that the muscles are engaged. I'm going to arch my back here. So I'm going to bring my tailbone in, pull that navel in, and then look at my spine. So not here, bringing that spine in. Lifting through the ribs, checking in on that curve of my spine. Relax the chin. Breath in, breath out. Push the legs down. Don't lose the legs. We put so much energy into the upper body that we lose the legs. Shoulders down. Good. Aiming my chest up to the ceiling. Breath in, pushing the legs down. Exhale, letting the upper body come forward. I'm going to roll that spine up once again. I'm going to stay sideways here. Actually, I'm going to start frontally. We're going to turn that left foot up against this right thigh, maybe pressing this hip open. Chest is lifting, perhaps coming up to the calf. Some of you are coming up to the groin, above the knee or below the knee. Breath. Don't try so hard. Yeah, I stopped trying a little hard until my body gets to sway. Now I'm going to let that go and bring that leg up. And now start to step, back foot flat, right knee is bending, warrior one. Breath in, breath out. I'm going to turn sideways here so that back foot is flat. Now some of us take it way too far back, and then that may make your chest go forward here, or this leg straight, or that heel up. So I'm going to come up, take it a little wider, shore it up, stack this front knee over the heel. I'm going to try to straighten this back leg and ask this hip to come forward. So now I get to feel the stretch through the front of the hip flexor. Some of us are feeling that in the back in our psoas. This is our warrior one. Sink and straighten. Sinking, lifting up, and straighten. Sinking. So I've got some extension in this back leg, some flexion in this one. Now I'm extending and flexing. Good. Let's see about bringing this leg up. Take as many steps as you need. And then we'll get ready for our tree on this side. Loosen it out. All right, here we go. We're going to spin. Open that hip. Stand in your tree, whatever kind of tree it's going to be on this side. And maybe throughout your practice, you're trying out all kinds of different trees. We can be a willow in one segment, might need to conjure being an ash in another segment. Some of y'all know I say that, I am a shrubbery, speaking to my diminutive stature. Whoop, see, I got lippy, right? Breath, lifting the chest. Have fun. I'm not falling, right? I'm coming in and out, bringing my mindfulness where I am. And that means my mindfulness is going to always remind me loving kindness and forgiveness. I'm going to release that foot and start to step that back. Step that back. Finding where we want to be here. My warrior one on this side. I'm going to switch here so you can see that in this perspective. I've been really enjoying kind of rocking my way into this in these hips. So it's a nice way to be in it, feel it out, and then give some attention into that upper body and can it rise? And then we can straighten and sink, and straighten and sink. Breathing in and breathing out, nice and calm. Noticing what's fighting. And then when we run into a space that's fighting, do we grit into it and grin and bear? Or what do? Can we soften? Maybe don't bend so deep. Maybe don't repeat so many times. Maybe you stop and pause and readjust something and say, oh, does that shift it? That's you creating that relationship. Ready? We're going to bring this back leg up from that warrior one back into our mountain. I'm going to check in on my feet, look at them, make sure that they're even, they're not angling outward. And I'm going to breathe in and lift up, check in on the curve of my spine, shoulders down and away from my ears. Legs are intending to press down into the earth. Lifting my chest up, breath in, and then exhaling as I come forward. This time, my hamstrings are still saying, yeah, don't push it, Thurston. So I'm going to bend my knees a little bit more, letting my upper body hang. Good. Why don't we bend the knees now and sink the butt back. Now you might want your block right here out in front of you. Like this, so that you can hold on as you sink your butt back. And I'm going to try to see how much I can make my thighs kind of parallel with the earth. And lay my chest down and keep pulling that butt back, feeling my legs, weights in my heels. I'm still pulling those knees back, finding the breath, breathing, holding on. Maybe you come out already. Maybe your legs and your mind are going, are you kidding me? And that's okay, it's Saturday, man. You could go back to cartoons and cereal. Breathe, and let's let that go. That actually sounds like a great idea. A big bowl of cereal. And the Super Friends. Really old, showing my age. All right, I'm going to walk my legs back. Have my hands on the block here. And now I'm going to check out my weight in each leg while the shelf of my torso is on its own, except that I've got my hands on the block. I'm going to root into my left leg and lift the right leg up behind me. Don't worry about how high that is. You've got a lot to navigate by holding on onto this one leg. So we're breathing in. See if you can lengthen the spine. Breathing out nice and calm. And then I'm going to bring that leg down. And feel the difference from when we were standing upright on lifting those legs. Pulling that chest forward. Breath in. And see about lifting the other leg. It could be this high. You're doing that work. Maybe you're lifting it a little bit more. Some of us are overachievers, so if that's the case, try to see, maybe have a mirror nearby so that you can look and notice, hey, I just really want to go extending straight back out of that hip joint. And then feel that equilibrium and the working. Ask your core to do more work because this leg is telling you the truth right now. And then we'll bring that leg down, breath in, and release the upper body. I'm going to come on back up, holding on here for a little support, and I'm going to step my right leg back, and see about staying on that toe. Now you can bring that block back so that it's a lot closer with you. And sink in the hips. Now I'm going to transfer my hands to my knees and see if I can come up and breathe. How upright can the head be over the shoulders, over the spine? Now my back's going to turn to you. I'm going to spin this foot flat and turn it open to warrior two. And breathe in and breathe out. So just bending and straightening, breathing in, breathing out. And now I'm going to hold and feel a strength conjuring, a calm, stable strength while in an expanded and open space in my body. Being closed in is not the only way that I can feel strong and stable and open and expanding all at the same time. Going to bring those hands down to the block again. Come back onto the right toes, pulling the chest up. Now I'm going to actually move my block out first and step the back leg up. Breath in, pull the chest up. Breath out, let the upper body go. And now I'm going to lift it back up once again, my chest coming forward. Now notice I had been way back here in these heels. So now I'm going to bring my weight forward evenly in the feet. And I'm going to lift the left leg and start to take the left leg back. Staying on those left toes. Remember, you can bring that block back with you, sinking in those hips. Take your time, transferring your weight to this right knee, using that for support. I even use those arms to help me lift. Don't go too far. Feel out what's fighting, what's giving you permission. Do you know the difference? I'm going to spin that back foot flat, turning my hips and my waist, and straightening and sinking. Maybe we're broad and expansive in that upper body, and sinking and straightening and sinking. Where's our breath? And straightening. So we've been in the hips now, sinking in the strength of the legs now. We've done some upper body bending. Looking at the balance of what did we touch in our practice today. I'm going to take my hands down to that block again, spin back onto those toes. All right, I'm going to walk that block out here and start to maybe take a few steps and then bring that leg up. I'm going to set my block aside for now and roll my spine up to standing. I'm going to work those shoulders again, because sometimes when we're leaning on the block, we put an inordinate amount of stress, right? We start to notice, hey, I was dumping my weight over here. Usually if I'm dumping too much here, when you're in those hands and knees, that means this mid-zone ain't doing much of nothing. All right, so let's rotate, change. And I'm not judging, okay? So some of y'all might be like, man, Belinda, you just gut change yourself. You just core change yourself. No, I didn't. I'm just like finding out the balance and saying, yo, you need to wake up. You haven't paid any rent. It's called balance. Balance, y'all. All right, so let's breathe in and grow tall. Exhale, side bend. Now, if you're feeling like it on this side, you can find a clasp, pulling that arm. Maybe not. Maybe your body's like, yeah, don't do that at all. Others of you might feel like the side of you says, ooh, you haven't let me have that much space in a while. Bringing ourselves up, finding that other side, taking our time. I'm going to find that clasp on this side. Feels like a good idea. And I'm going to bring myself back up. Breath in. Try to take that curve out of that spine a little bit. Try not to dump into it. Breath in. Exhale. Taking ourselves forward. I'm going to round my spine up, coming up to standing. I'm going to see about tying all of this in together. And when we do that, why don't we just go ahead and have the block out in front of us to get ready. That might be a bit far from my arms. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to root and lift my left knee. Breath. Let's see if we can add on and extend, and it could be this low. Bringing it back up, bringing it down. Root, lifting the right knee. Breath, extension to whatever degree is yours. Asking your spine to lift, take that left leg. Bring that knee back, bringing that leg down. Breath in, lift, trying to take that curve out. Growing tall still. Exhale, coming on forward. Let your jaw go, maybe shake your head. I'm going to roll my spine up, feeling the muscles along my spinal column. Finding an upright space once again. And I'm going to root into the right leg, ask the left leg to lift. Reach, bring it back. Now, warrior one. So I'm going to step it back foot flat. Aim those toes to the front left corner of the mat. Front knee is bent, working my hips. Standing in a calm, strong space. Prepared, rooted, confident, open. I'm going to breathe in and lift up. I'm going to pull that navel back just a little bit. I'm going to bring my hands down, have that block here, and twist. Now, if your hand touches the floor, go ahead and let your hand touch the floor. Breath. I'm going to release. I'm going to twist into that now. I'm going to bring myself back upright. Hands to prayer. I want to see if I can step up to the top of my mat. This time I'm going to task myself with some calm intention, some rooted presence, not using momentum to shove off with this back leg. I'm just going to stand up. Yeah, kind of feel out that word. Now maybe that thigh say, we ain't doing that. But it's something to play with and go, what did that require of me? Did that require that leg to be a little bit more gripped, a little bit more rooted, strong? I'm going to root now into the left leg and ask the right knee to lift. Laugh out loud if it's lifting in a cockamamie kind of way. And let's take it back. Good humor. Maybe check in. When's the last time your face has smiled? That's a good yoga practice right here. Smile. Ooh, if y'all didn't see what I posted on the Just Be Yoga wall before, this Kirk Franklin montage of various singers with the Smile song. Oh, you got to check it out. It is amazing. So even though, even though I'm broke, see I smile. I forget all the lyrics, but it's a beautiful song. All right, anyway, I digress. Be in your legs, be in your hips, be in your face, and check in on how are you occupying any of those spaces. Breath. Now I'm going to come on down. This time I'm not going to use my block. I'm just going to have my hand down. But if you want to use a block, go ahead. Check in. Is this knee still staying bent, or is it saying, hey, I want out? And it's okay. Live your truth. We're going to twist it open, breathe, push both legs into the floor. Give yourself, apply yourself some action activity. Be yourself, and then we'll bring those hands down, making our way back up. Check in on the state of your breath. Now I'm going to see about coming up to the top of this mat again. Keeping my chest lifting and stepping that foot up. I need to wake up my feet again. Breath in, I'm going to lengthen, kind of not dump into that low back. Exhale, taking it forward, upper body hang. Play with where you're shifting your weight back and forth in those legs. Okay, guys, we're almost done on the legs. In case those feet are getting tired, if you need to take a seat, go ahead and take a seat. I know we've been in the legs quite a bit this morning. So now I'm going to find that block again and lengthen my chest. Yeah, I did forget the chair, but I'm going to give us all a reprieve. How about that? Nobody's mad? Okay. Root into the legs, pull the spine up, and I'm going to lift my right leg up behind me. Breath. Can you lengthen your spine a little longer? Feel your belly button extending long and forward. Good. I'm going to start to bend my front leg and reach way back there, coming to the toe of that back foot. Maybe pulling that block back with you. Sinking in those hips. Pull the spine up. Good. Let's stretch out the hips. Now squeeze inner thighs. Squeeze inner thighs together. Nice. All right, we're going to go for that warrior two. Spinning that back foot flat. Keeping that left knee bent. Bringing ourselves up. You could walk up that leg or ask the torso to lift you up. Good. Let's straighten. Now squeeze these thighs. And then let that go and sink it down. Chest is lifting up and straighten and sink into it. Maybe your gaze goes over those left fingertips, growing tall through the back of your own neck. Scoop your tailbone under, tighten that tummy just a hair. And then, we're coming to the ground or to the block. Spinning onto the back toes. I'm going to walk this block forward now and see if I can apply the same notion that we did coming out of the warrior one to just stand and bring that foot up. All right, I'm going to shake the feet out. We're almost done. We're feeling that out, waking everything up. Spread the toes. Chest is lengthened. And see about lifting this left leg. So this is our warrior three. Long and strong and contained. Find some ease. Don't strain in it. Don't fight with it. So maybe it looks like this. Maybe that front leg is bent a little. No fighting. No fighting. Now I'm going to reach and step it back. Give myself support, bringing that block back. Sitting up tall, straightening that back leg. Now I'm going to spin that flat and make my way up for warrior two. Ooh, shoulders at ease, and then let's open and close it down, turning those hips open and up. Squeeze inner thighs, give it some solidity. Feel how that feels, and then let the grip go and sink. And we feel we need that grip, right? You need that grip to stop you from sliding into the split that you have no intention of going into. We need to wake that up so that it's available for us when we have that slip. And we'll bring the hands down, spin onto these toes. Last time we try to work on coming up mindfully, okay? So I'm just going to stand and bring that leg up. Move the block out of the way, forward fold. Some of you may want to start now because the hamstring should be good and warmed up. And you could bring your hands behind your calves and let your upper body hang. Turn the head left and right. Soften the grip in your feet. Try to soften your low back and your low belly. And then I'm going to bring these hands down. Let's make our way to hands and our knees. All right. I'm going to look at where I've got my knees. I'm going to try to keep them under my hips. Walking that back a bit. Now I'm going to have my hand under my shoulders. Try not to dump. So see how I've kind of caved into my spine here? Try not to dump there. I'm also not trying to round it up like the cat in the cat-cow. So what's a nice level space where I'm lengthening the top of my head forward. Good. Let's do a few hip rotations just to feel the range. We've warmed that up already today by doing our tree, by lifting and extending that leg, by going into the warrior 3 and the warrior 2. But here's fluid and it's not weight bearing. Okay, so this leg is free to move on its own, and both of our arms and the other knee are giving us that support. So what's the range? Going to reach it back, and yet again a little bit of free and open space, twisting that hip open. And close in a non-weight bearing way, and notice how it feels. How much freedom. Maybe twist it open again and close. And I'm going to bring that knee down. I'm going to take a little break in the middle here for these wrists and do some wrist rotations and just try to hold my spine up. Okay, hold my spine up. Change direction of the wrists. And now get ready for the other side. So I'm going to bring my hands down. If those wrists are sensitive, you can make a fist and rest on the knuckles. And we'll extend the other leg back. And then let's find our hip rotations. Breath in. Breath out. Change your direction. Good. I'm going to reach it back and twist it open. Just work from the hips as best you can. Try to keep the arms straight. Oftentimes, we start bending those elbows like we're going to do a push-up in this. And while that's impressive, let's not do that. Let's close the hip and open. Isolate the hips, the abs. Breath and close. Good. I'm going to bring that knee back in. Come on back up. Shake those wrists out. I'm going to pat myself on the back with the left hand. Find that left elbow. And I'm going to try to straighten my spine. Breath. And then relax and find the other side. Standing up tall. Breath in. Breath out. Good. And relax. All right, before we come to some seated, I'm going to sit back on my heels for a moment. I'm going to grab my block. Some of you might want two, but I think that this is enough surface for me. And I'm just going to bring my elbows to the block and sink back. And I'm going to feel that stretch under the armpit and on the underside of the upper arm. See how much of my body weight I can sink down into the shoulder socket? Bring your observation here and treat it with kindness. Nice. I'm going to come up and out of that, set that block aside, and we're going to come on down to a seated space. All right. Got our legs out in front of us, waking those up, pointing and flexing. Maybe some ankle rotations. First time we truly got the weight off of our feet. Changing direction of those rotations. Legs can be wide apart, not super wide, just it can be as wide as your mat if you like. And then sit up tall. I'm going to turn sideways so we can see the spine. I don't want to be rounding back here. So I'm asking my core, holding myself a little accountable here. Breath in, chin is level. Why don't we find and explore a twist? Breath in, breath out. Slow your thoughts. We're not in any race to get anywhere. And I'm going to release and come on over to the other side. Lifting the spine, breathing in. Exhaling as I revolve, revolve, revolve. And I'm gonna let that go. Maybe grab your strap if you want onto the bottoms of your feet. I'm gonna hold my imaginary strap right now and sit up. Really pull the rib cage up. And exhale, pull chin and chest toward the big toe. Slide the shoulders back. Explore the breath. We don't force breath either. We're exploring. I'm going to push the backs of my legs into the floor. Activate. Stimulate and rely on it to give us support. Leverage. Soften the spine. Soften your belly. Soften your low back. Ungrip there. And then I'll bring ourselves up. Good. All right, we're going to do a Janu Sirsasana. I'm going to turn sideways so we can see and bring the sole of this foot either up toward the groin. That's going to depend on your knee and your hip. It could be closer to the knee. Some of us, it's better down here toward the calf. You could always put a pillow or a block under that. Feel out what's going on in your own body and feel out whether you need to give it support. And I'm going to lift my spine. I'm going to move this away. That block's kind of hard on my knee. And allow the upper body to come forward. Maybe even twisting it a little over that front leg. Sometimes I like to take the opposite arm and find the ankle or shin and twist while I'm coming forward. And I feel that along the side of my low waist. Expand the belly. This may not feel good to any of you. You could press the inner thigh open. But it also just goes to show that one day I decided to play like this. And it started to become something that my body enjoyed. I like to incorporate it sometimes. That is me yoking to my practice and my body. I check in and say, hey, do you want to feel that? And it says, I don't know, I'll try. And then it goes, yo, Belinda, more of that. And I go, okay, we can do that. All right, let's switch it out. Many of you guys, if you've been in my classes at all, know that I say somebody made all this up at some point in time. Each posture, each breath, right? Whether you say it was divinely inspired or not. So there is no, oh, I shouldn't try it that way because it's going against the yoga rules. Man, feel it out. As long as you're safe in your alignment, you're not going to rip and tear anything out of socket. It's for you to explore. What are we capable of? What's possible? I'm going to sit up a little bit and come forward. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Let go of a single thought. Breath in. Let go of some clenching somewhere. I'm going to see about a little bit of a twist on this side. Oh. And then bring ourselves up. Nice. Okay. I'm going to give us into our reclining. Grab our block. And before we go down, we're going to do a supported fish. So I'm going to use the block. I would prefer today to use my egg. Okay. So my yoga egg is an egg-shaped block. Yep. Just like it's, I think the name is Namaste Egg. So yeah, go ahead and look it up if you're trying to get one or two of these. They're yummy, they're delicious, and they curve on the spine. So I'm going to bring the block, either your square block up into the upper back, laying my upper body down until my head is on the floor. And now I'm going to take the sharp right angle edges out of my back and bring the curved thing up into my upper back. You could use a soft pillow, a hard pillow, whatever works for you. This is a supported fish, allowing the upper back to find that arch, that heart opener, that back bend, with us not having to exert any muscle force. Notice that I'm keeping my legs bent, taking some of the pressure out of my low spine. And with every breath, I'm just focusing my attention in my upper back, my upper spinal column, and trying to encourage a soft, yielding space. Can I recline in a heart opener? Can I be at rest and offer my heart in a calm ease? Can I make it my natural state? Feeling the front of the chest and in between the shoulder blades. Now I'm going to add a butterfly here, bringing the bottoms of my feet together. I'm getting into the inner thighs. If you would prefer to just straighten your legs, go ahead and do that. Soften your neck. Soften your thoughts. Soften into you. I'm going to ease my way off of the block. So I'm just going to roll over to one side, reach back there, set that block aside. And I'm going to bring my knees to my chest. And rock and roll. First time really that we're on our back. Biggest amount of surface of our body resting on the earth. I'm going to straighten my right leg, holding the left knee in, and find a spinal twist, taking that leg over, crossing my midplane, twisting the spine, twisting the hips. I can twist the upper back. Breath in, breath out. Don't force anything. So if your hands are resting on your thigh, try not to be yanking or tugging or pulling. Feel your skin softening. You'll feel the fascia. Consider it a muscle around your muscles, softening. And then soften the muscles around your bones. And we'll take our time and come on back up. Maybe pull that knee in. We'll find a half happy baby. So I'll bring that hand behind the knee, pulling that knee down. Or if you prefer or it's accessible, that hand could come up and find the foot. Pulling that foot and the knee down. Pushing the back of the straight leg toward the floor. Breathing in. Breathing out. And I'm going to gently exchange. So no rushed movements. Try to be kind to my joints, my ligaments. Pulling that other knee in. Nice hug. And now when you're ready, but I'm ready, you're going to find my spinal twist. Rolling over. Greeting this side, checking in my mind, making sure I'm not trying to make this side Be the other side. Expand my breath deep into the low back. Reviewing briefly in my mind the balance that I've tried to strike in the shapes of movements, the types of movements, my awareness in my breath, my awareness in my mind. Was my awareness in one more than the other? When we start to train our actions and our words and our intentions to be in a balanced space, to not be in any extreme, it starts to bring balance into how we walk in the world, how we react to things. And it doesn't mean that we don't react. It means that we stay out of whack a little less. We start to recalibrate a little sooner. And we don't wear that dysregulation inside of us for very long. We bring ourselves back up. And that's a nice balanced way to just kind of walk in the world. When you're ready, finding half happy baby here, breathing in, breathing out. I'm going to slowly release that leg and lengthen the leg out. I'm going to just roll on over to one side and come up to sitting, because as you guys are aware, Linda doesn't pay attention to time very well. Well, I take that back. I don't like that framing of the words, that phraseology. I like to be present and not be dictated by the human construct of seconds and minutes and hours. How about that? Okay. But I got other people who are relying on me on the other side of this. My man Paul, Uno Deuce Multimedia. Go check them out if you need any digital needs. But that means that we're going to be closing out. Check in on what you got to touch in your body and your breath and your mind. What you got to bring into alignment. A single Om if you wish to join. Deep breath. Om. Hands to the heart center. Thanks for joining. Check us out on YouTube and here on Facebook. Namaste. Stick around for Empower, starting at 11:30 if you want to fire it up. Good to see everybody.